Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am the Inconsequential Runner, and in the series of videos that I put together, there is one series that is to do with shoes that I've finished with. I know people review shoes, and I sometimes do when they're brand new and after maybe about the 100-kilometer mark in terms of how they're going. But I also say goodbye to my shoes when they are done. And today we're saying goodbye to my Nike Invincible 3s. Now, I've always been a fan of the Invincible series. Had the Invincible 1s, had a couple of pairs of those, a couple of pairs of the Invincible 2s, and only one pair of the Invincible 3s. This one here. This one's now done 855k, and just the other day when I went out for a recovery run in it, it didn't feel the same. It was starting to feel a little bit flat in the foam. And after 855k, you can't blame it. It has done its job. What am I going to do with them at this stage? Well, I don't know. I might just have them as knockabout shoes or really short recovery runs. So I won't take it now on a 10 to 15k recovery run. So 7k and less. So in terms of miles, well, 8 kilometers is 5 miles, so maybe 4.5 miles or less, I'll take it for a run. But I mean, if you look at the upper, so let's give it a review after 855 kilometers. You look at the upper, it looks great. It's in good nick. You look inside where the heel is, no wear, no problems. The only wear you've got, as you'd imagine, is the outsole. So you can see I've worn through the outsole a little bit there. It's just started to come through, and that is the part on my left foot on the lateral side is where I tend to wear shoes the most. So that's going to be the greatest wear. Some of the paint, of course, has been worn off where the midsole is exposed. But otherwise, generally, it's still got quite a bit of wear to go in it. It's no real problems. And then again, if we look at now my right, you can see that I haven't worn through the lateral side of the right. So it's getting thinnish, but yeah, you can see that I've got a slight scuff with my left heel over my right heel. Again, some of the paint is missing, but that's all that is. Otherwise, the outsole, plenty of wear still to go. It's just the foam isn't feeling quite as it did. So yeah, well, not the longer recovery runs, but I'll take it on the shorter recovery runs. Okay, let's compare the Invincible 3 to the 2 and the 1. And of course, we cannot talk about the Invincible 4 because it doesn't exist. It's going to become part of the Vomero range, effectively. So, which is a real pity. There might be some of you like me that really loved the Invincible range. It was a special range. I'm one of those that preferred the Invincible 1 and the Invincible 2 over the Invincible 3. I think I like the look of the Invincible 3 more, and certainly heel slippage. I know that was an issue for some people, but I wonder if those people didn't persist long enough, because I did experience a little, and it was only a little bit of heel slip in the first, say, 20, 30 kilometers, but then it went away, and it was only a little. It wasn't enough to bother me, but it certainly disappeared after 20 or 30 Ks. And I think that's just the shoe just seating in. In fact, I'd say to anyone, for any manufacturer that has a right of return or a free returns policy, do not return shoes after one wear. I mean, come on. Many shoes still take the best part of 100k before they start to feel real, like themselves. Now, shoes these days, compared to say 10 years ago, are now way better out of the box than they used to be. They used to be terrible out of the box. Not all shoes, but many were terrible out of the box until you got to 100k. What I'm saying is the modern shoe generally feels great out of the box, but can be even better after 100k. That's its prime point. So be persistent. Okay, but I did prefer the Invincible 1 and the Invincible 2. How did I just pronounce Invincible then? Anyway, and the 3, yeah, wasn't a problem. It was not an issue for me. It didn't have the same sort of soft, plush sort of feel, but you know, it was still super plush, and it did the job that it was there for. And this was the shoe. In fact, the Invincible range was the shoe. If I wasn't sure what shoe to put on, you know, were my legs a little bit fatigued, or were they okay-ish, or then this was just the easy choice. This was a go-to. If I wasn't doing anything semi-serious, like if I wasn't going to a park run and I was trying to knock out a good time, then I could just go to this shoe. Even a long run where I wanted to do it at a moderate pace, still landed at the Invincible, no dramas. In fact, I have raced a couple of park runs with it on. I say raced, park run isn't a race, but we know what the definition of racing park run is, and that means, you know, you're pushing sort of zone 4 sort of running, you know, about 85 to 90% perceived effort sort of rate. So we know that, and you can do that in the Invincibles. Not the fastest shoe, not built for speed, built to just take care of your legs, and that's what this did. The other shout out I will give the Invincible range, and I am sad it's leaving us, but it's sort of reincarnated, isn't it, as the Vomero. So the Invincible 4 will be one of the Vomero range. I don't know what it'll be, and I don't care. I won't be picking it up, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the big shout out I'll give the Invincible is when I had plantar fasciitis, this was the only shoe I was able to run in that, while I was recovering from it, would just alleviate it. Now, I don't know if that was because of the foam or the drop or whatever it was, but the way this shoe was engineered, when I say this shoe, the Invincible range, took care of my plantar fasciitis, so I was able to get on top of it. So all my other shoes, once they've reached end of life, I tend to, you know, I either recycle them, or if the end of life for me, but they've got another 300 or 400 kilometers in them, I will donate them. This shoe I won't. I'm still going to, even though it's reached end of life effectively, I'm going to hold on to it for those, as I say, those 5K runs. I might take them if I'm doing a park run and I want to do a fast time. I might take these as my warm-up and then change into something a little bit racier. So I'm going to use them when I say knockabout. I'm doing that. Now, why am I not going to follow up in the Vomero range to replace this? Long story short, very short, and you might not know this, Nike have stopped selling, and they stopped maybe about a year ago now, I think, year and a half, stopped selling their shoes online to New Zealand customers. Yeah, you heard me right. We could no longer go online to buy our shoes to get them sent to us. It was, you go into Nike shops or stockists only. That was an issue for me. That was an issue because I knew what I wanted and I just wanted to get them online. And Nike did have a fantastic returns policy. If it didn't work, you could send it back. So when Nike brought out a new range of shoes, then it was easy for me to just buy it online, knowing that if the size wasn't quite right, then I could do something about that before I took them outside and did anything with them. And it just offered you the guarantee. How many shoes did I send back to Nike? Not many, but I loved that return policy. And I was shopping online, going on the Nike website daily, looking at stuff, looking to pick up specials and all of that. None of that is available to us anymore. So out of my last, I think 12 shoes now, 11 of them have been Asics and one of them has been Adidas in the last 12. Up to then, probably the 20 before have been all Nike. So massive switch with them making that decision, with them making that decision to not supply us online. Yeah, I got a bee in my bonnet about that. That sucked. So I have no inclination, zero, to, even though I'm a big fan of the Vomero, and that was in one of the pair of shoes I bought of the 20 that I bought online from Nike, the Vomero 16. And again, with the return policy, I was like, give it a go. And I did. And it was a great shoe. And I'm pleased I gave it a go. And I only gave it a go because of the return policy that offered me a sense of safety, I suppose, in the purchase, and ease buying it online. But with New Zealanders not being able to buy it online, I haven't touched Nike since. So that is why I won't be replacing my Nike shoes, these pair, with another pair of Nikes. All my Nikes, once I've finished them, I went to, as you heard, in the last 12 pairs of shoes, Asics, except for one pair, of Adidas, and that is it. So I'm saying goodbye to my Invincible 3s. They did do a great job. I like the Invincible 1s and the Invincible 2s. I've got another pair of Invincible 2s that have done over 1,000 kilometers, and I can't bring myself to throw those out either. So I've got those as also a 5K knockabout sort of shoe. And that's it. So saying goodbye to my Nike Invincible 3s. If you do have any questions about my experience with the Invincible 3s, just put it in the comments. I've covered the wear, I've covered the feel of them, what I use them for primarily. They have held up great. They look fantastic considering they're almost 900 kilometers old. Gosh, I might even take them out for a short run tonight. Yeah. But that's it. I'm saying goodbye to them, and that's a wrap. So they're on the subs bench now at best. They're not part of the core rotation anymore. That's the end of them. Thank you to the Nike Invincible 3s. It was a great shoe. But yeah, one less pair of Nikes I've got now because of their decision about cutting us off from online purchases. What? Technology, right? Are we going backwards? What are we doing? Okay. Take care. You know what to do. If this video helped you, hit like. If you want to stay in the loop with these videos, hit subscribe. Love to have you as part of the team. And take care. Catch you in the next one. Bye.